Your favorite couples here so easily accessible. Grab your headphones, hit play, turn up the decibels. Master of the pod like a young Skywalker. Shout out to homie Yoda, cause great all we talkers. The crew is firm, so it's love to AZ. You signed the Tempe. Scorch the competition simply. Sure to get you high like some true West Coasters. Look at the flick of the wrist, one guardian Leviosa. LA is always sunny, Comic-Con with honeys. Pokemon and Dunny, sneaker hype, be sticking money. Erase rolls of eyes and see Lee made it funny. Time flies and now my flux capacitor is running. You not rocking with us, you like a muggle wizard, see. Just stupefy yourself with the wave of wizardry. Like Mario standing still in the left's a moving screen. A world full of nerds, but only two nerdly. The dopest show you ever heard, you see. It will be. In your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdly. The dopest show you ever heard, you see. It will be. In your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdly.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the Nerdlies podcast. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Chris. Hi, everybody. How has everybody been?
Hello.
Hopefully you are doing well. It is a crazy weird time right now with all this stuff going on. And it would be, Keanu's already making an appearance in the podcast. She is sitting on, she's wondering where her mic is,
Apparently.
I think, right now.
She's like, I want to weigh in on the coronavirus.
The outbreak is affecting my ability to.
You never get on the table, like, ever. She just doesn't. She's like, the attention's not on me. I don't like it.
That's how she is. She waits until we start the podcast. It's the only time she protests her attention. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. The coronavirus has been, obviously on the top of the mind since, mid-January, like early February and stuff like that. And it's starting to now, leak into all kinds of things, all kinds of nerd things, all kinds of life things or whatever. Literally just hours ago, the NBA suspended the rest of the season until further notice because a player contracted the coronavirus, which is pretty nuts. Rudy Gobert, who just 2 days ago was joking during a player press conference about the coronavirus, and then there is video.
The irony!
oh, it's amazing. And then even during his right at the end of his press conference, made it a point to touch all of the microphones and recorders before he left the room.
It's like Leslie Knope when she had the flu.
Yeah,
spitting on.
Oh my gosh, it's so
what a dork.
But yeah, they literally couldn't play the game tonight because they figured out that he was sick, and the rest of the players had to get quarantined. They're in Oklahoma City. They're not even in Utah. So his team, the Utah Jazz, are stuck in the arena in Oklahoma City getting tested for the coronavirus. They're quarantined there.
Good Lord.
I was just talking to my coworker today about how much it would suck to be quarantined at your workplace. Mm-hmm. I love the people I work with, but I don't want to live with them for 2 weeks, or however long they're supposed to be there. Could you imagine having to live at your workplace?
Well, I don't I feel like they must give them a hotel or something, right?
I mean, it depends. It depends on the health officials if they think it's worthy of getting them a hotel or making them just stay at the facility, because the facility probably has some sort of beds and stuff like that. They can keep them there. They have showers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they just got to stay where they are. Just like those people that are stuck on that cruise ship right now. They're just stuck on the cruise ship, Mm-hmm. So it's a little wild. But obviously some of the bigger news is that E3 got canceled. That doesn't even happen until June. I'm assuming because they canceled it really early, but I'm kind of assuming it's because a lot of these game companies are in foreign countries and they're probably not able to work right now. So they may not even have anything to show by June because they have work stoppages. I
mean, with these things, they can work at home for the most part as well.
It depends. It depends on the infrastructure of that company.
Yeah.
So some places probably you could work on the assets and stuff like that at home, but some of these companies might have physical locations where all of their data is stored. They don't want people to go home with it.
True.
like some of these bigger manufacturers, because otherwise people can hack into your home network easier than a physical network at a location or whatever with the proper security.
Yeah.
I would think. So maybe, I don't know. Bobby's E3's canceled. Coachella just got canceled, which was big, or it got postponed. Some stuff that affected us, the Paley Festival that we wanted to go to. We had gotten tickets for the Mandalorian panel. That was supposed to be on March 22nd. That got canceled or postponed. We don't know a date yet.
Yeah.
I know Rachel was a little upset about that.
Just a little bit. I mean, I was like, yeah, I was super excited to go. So it's disappointing to say the least.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? What can you do? Unfortunately, that's just the reality of what's going on right now. And one of our friends was supposed to go to Ace Comic Con over, I can't really remember where it was at, but she was going to meet. Oh, it was going to be in Austin. Boston.
Yeah.
South by Southwest got canceled. That was like supposed to happen this week. That's a huge conference. Yeah, things are just getting pretty crazy out there. But yeah, just, general reminder, wash your hands. Don't touch your mouth, nose, eyes until after you wash your hands, or just try not to touch them at all. Yeah, because your orifices are the quickest way to get illness. So, but I was listening to talking to some friends at work, and was like, it is almost a good thing to just remind people to wash their hands more frequently. Not that everyone was not doing that before, but now everyone's really conscious of it. I'm definitely more conscious of oh shit, I gotta wash my hands now before I go eat a burger or eat these French fries. I don't just eat burgers and French fries, but it's something to note.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty conscious of it with where I work. So
yeah.
But yeah, still, it's good. It's a good thing to remember to do.
I will say, even in these tough times, it's fun to it's just fun to watch the meme culture of how people react to things, or things that come out that are actually informative but are also memes. The ones I'm really loving now are just the ones that give you the lyrics to tell you how long 20 seconds is. It's some of my favorite shit I've seen on the internet lately.
Well, and then you sent me the Thong Song one, so that's the one I've been singing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you to I can't remember who did it who's posted it up originally, but my friend Brian Bergen, or our friend Brian Bergen, posted that up, and that's why I saw it. And I'm sharing it with everybody because that's the most catchy one to me personally now.
So I've been doing that every time I wash my hands lately.
What a great song! What an incredible time! I just still can't believe he thought to write "She has dumps like a truck." Love that stuff. But yeah, I guess with all this being said, we are, and one of the bigger things in entertainment too, James Bond movie got moved from early April to November now, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's a long time.
The song's already out. Now I got to listen to Billie Eilish sing "No Time to Die" for 8 months. Not that I wasn't gonna listen to it more or whatever, but just so weird now. I personally, I was I wouldn't have been surprised if they pushed it a month or two, but man, November. I guess that's traditionally that's when his movies have released so far in his run, but that's a long time. What is she doing?
She's hugging the table leg and climbing up it, and then and she was holding it and rubbing on it. I'm like, what? You never do this shit normally. What is wrong with you?
She's crazy. She's insane. But yeah, so I think that's a little wild. And of course, next month is supposed to be WonderCon. Comic-Con as an organization has basically just said we're going to keep an eye on it, but for now it's going to be on, for whatever, it's on target to be held still. But obviously we got to keep an eye on that. Do the risk reward thing of hey, do we want to even attend if it's getting real bad, or has it tapered off yet? Or, it's still, it's still about a month away. How are you? What do you think? Do you think they'll cancel it?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they're canceling all these other conventions and things, it makes sense that they would. It makes me sad because that's like my favorite convention of the
Yeah.
whole year. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I really do love WonderCon. I think it's a wonderful convention to
You little bitch. No.
We have these so just so you guys have a sense of what's happening, Keanu never usually jumps on the table or messes with our things.
No.
For the most part, that is usually Morpheus's job.
Yeah.
But today,
I'm surprised he hasn't touched the wings.
yeah, we obviously did an angel shoot last couple weeks ago, and the wings are still sitting on our dining table here, and Keanu has now discovered them somehow just right during the podcast. She's insane right now.
She just acted like she saw a bug. She's like, are you on some sort of drug that I need to be aware of?
We did put
Are you smoking the crack?
we did put all brand new litter in there, so maybe it's like smells too good.
Oh, yeah, maybe. She's just bursting with vitality and energy.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they cancel it either. I just wish they would do it sooner so that people like, obviously this is a relatively big convention. It's not just a local, like, Anime Pasadena or like just these smaller conventions. It's a pretty big convention. There's actually a lot of people that come across the country to go to WonderCon. So it's a wonder. I mean, that's a bad pun, or whatever. But it's just kind of weird that they haven't made a decision yet. To me,
Yeah.
I mean, it's at a big economic toll for their organization to have to try to refund people and do all that stuff. But you should probably tell people sooner than later because people are already fighting for like their flights and hotels and all that stuff to get their money back. So
Yep.
we'll see. We'll see how this thing goes. Hopefully you guys have been paying attention to your health reports in your area. I think it's very important at this time.
I just think it's hilarious that, sorry to get political for a second, but the fact that like literally I think yesterday Trump was like, oh yeah, don't worry about canceling any of your travel plans, and then like today was like, yo, no travel to Europe.
I don't think
Like,
it's
are you fucking kidding me? Like,
I don't think it's a secret where we lean personally
no.
politically, but yeah, it's very troubling to say the least that our leadership has been so lacking in this respect. And it's one of those things that, I don't want people to panic about it because it is.
And I've been trying to like just stay pretty chill about it. It wasn't
'Cause you
until
look at
all
the-
this stuff today where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like maybe I should be a little worried, especially because my job deals with the public a lot.
Yeah.
And so that might be taking a hit. So
Well,
we'll
it's also
see,
one of
but-
those things where, like, statistically, we're not in personally the bracket to be super worried about it. Because
Well,
even
yeah.
if we were to contract it, me and you are both relatively healthy. People who do have to worry about it are the people over 50, and also people who have a history of illness or, like, respiratory problems. Like, that's definitely something to be concerned about. But you just need to be cleanlier and just be more conscious is all. Like, I want a level-headed caution of what's going on.
Yeah.
I totally understand canceling big events. You probably shouldn't be going to like big events just because on a whim. And like if you have planned stuff, I get it. But like you probably shouldn't just do it on a whim because there is a chance that you might contract it, and the worst thing is to transfer it into somebody else. That's the thing. So we'll see.
Well,
how
and the
things
one
go.
thing, I guess, one thing that I am hoping that maybe just as a society and as a people we will learn is the fact that, like, we shouldn't be, first of all, we shouldn't be chastised for taking sick days.
No,
And
not at all.
also that it's important to stay home when you're sick.
Yeah, I think it's a
Like,
important
I think
thing to do.
that's, like I said, if we learn anything, or, because, like, I feel like, especially, like it happens at my work, I think it happens at a lot of workplaces where, we feel like either we're going to be chastised for taking a sick day, or, like, we feel like a failure, or we feel like, whatever. But, like, but especially if you're dealing with the public on a daily basis, you're not only putting them at risk, and you're putting your coworkers at risk of getting sick, and then their livelihood is, at risk. But
and it's also one of those things where the problem is that we have a lot of companies and all that stuff that do not give people sick leave. So people feel like they are forced to work, and that sucks. And that shouldn't be the case. Everyone should be getting sick leave. So make sure that you support people who are going to try to get you that, and are going to work towards that as a goal for everyone, because everyone should be able to have the luxury of being like, hey, I'm sick. I gotta take the day off.
Yeah.
And that's something as a whole society needs to work with. And that's a bigger problem than us as a small minor podcast can solve.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying, if
you are able, I hope people will take into account, like, hey, I gotta take this day off. Like, your health is not, like, other people's health is not worth you being stubborn if you have the ability to take a sick day off.
Yeah.
I agree.
Stay home. Don't go out.
If you can.
Yeah.
And hopefully employers will step up to the plate and be like, hey, do you guys need to take the day off? Take the day off.
And while you're at home being quarantined or the like, you can listen to our podcast or watch our YouTube channel, because we've been playing Kentucky Road Zero.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll move on to something more light besides health and politics. But yeah, we started replaying Kentucky Route Zero. It is a game that's kind of like, I don't know what I would liken it to. It's kind of a mixture between something like Oxenfree to Telltale Games and that sort of stuff. But we played it on PC a while ago, all the first 4 chapters, and now they've re-released it on the Switch with the brand new 5th chapter, which we haven't seen yet. But we haven't played it in so long. It's been about 2 years since we played it. So we're rediscovering it, basically. Yeah. How do you feel about it so far?
I still love it. The graphics are such an amazing, stylistic choice, and has such a cool 2D versus 3D quality to it that I love, and just
the animation is incredible.
Yeah, the animation, and then the play on light and shadow, and just the kind of graphic quality to it is really, really cool. But yeah, and the story is great. It's very kind of existential and trippy in parts, and has, like I said, we've kind of theorized that it may either have to do with the paranormal or the afterlife, or my current theory is it has to do with either someone having Alzheimer's or dementia or some kind of memory issue where they're trying to recall things.
Yeah, and as we look through it, I think for me it's about for me it has a lot of the vibe of purgatory sort of thing, where you're trying to decide where you need to be in the afterlife, sort of thing. So we'll see how that all plays out. I think the characters are pretty well rounded. There are 3 major characters in the game. You as, oh my gosh, I'm already going to forget the names. But there's a kid named Ezra, I believe, which we kept calling him Ezra Bridger. I believe there is a woman named Shannon.
I think so.
And then the main character is a truck driver named, starts with a C. It's not, is it Clarence? I don't think it's Clarence. It's something like...
Or Clint, maybe? I can't remember. Hold on, let me check.
But it starts with a C, I believe.
Remember.
But you kind of go on a journey with these 3 characters. You meet Ezra a lot later, obviously. But I think it's super interesting. I'm super excited to keep diving into it.
Conway.
Conway. I was like, Clarence. It's like a southern-ish name. Conway is a kind of a southern-ish name. But yeah, we've gone through the first 2 chapters so far. I'm gonna rediscover the 3rd chapter, and they have very subtle music that is beautiful in the game. So even if you just want to, if you like atmospheric type games, I would definitely check it out. It's a lot of heavy dialogue, though. It's a lot of dialogue. A lot of reading. Because they don't have voice actors, so you kind of have to interject the characters yourself. But it's very, it's very dynamic and interesting characters and stuff like that. What is she doing? Okay, we're good. We're good. She's just sitting there. But yeah. What else? Are you excited to see what happens in the 5th? Are you starting to remember a lot more things that we've done?
A little bit, yeah. Like, I think I kind of remember what the end of the last chapter was. Because I remember I remember it being, like, at some bar where there was a band playing or something.
Yes, I do remember that part,
I remember,
the band.
like, the final, like, act or whatever when they were playing and stuff was really cool with, like, the visual effects and everything, but... Yeah, I'm excited to finally finish it, and because that was the thing, was like, I was like I get and I appreciate when game companies do release things when they're in beta and stuff, but at the same time, like, it just sucked, like, literally having 2 years where it felt like I didn't get to finish this game because they never finished it. So it just kind of, I mean, and the ending may just leave you hanging too. Who knows? But
yeah, who knows? We're not. Like, I'm not really entirely sure where the ending's gonna go, because I think it left very ambiguously when we stopped, and we were like, "How the hell is this gonna wrap up?"
That's why I'm like, I don't really know, like, if it's gonna have any kind of, like, cohesive ending. It would be nice, because I feel like there's so many, like I appreciate when, people break the mold and try to do endings that are, ambiguous or, left up to your own imagination. But then there's times where I'm just kind of like, just give me an ending, please. I don't want to always have to be wondering, like, how's this, what is this supposed to be?
Yeah.
Like, I still, like, the freaking end of, Inside.
Oh yeah,
it's still one of the most, like, what the hell endings ever. You're just a blob on a beach.
Yeah,
there's no resolution whatsoever. You're just a blob on a beach, and you probably die there. Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
I mean, it's definitely a little rough. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, like, there's a lot of things that we can get out of the movie or out of the game. We'll see how it plays out once we get to
although I think
to it.
Probably the one good thing that came out of them being in beta for so long was that it seems like maybe they were able to take feedback from people as to what, like, maybe they wanted in terms of, like, story holes or, like, things, because it seems like there's new stuff that they've kind of interjected here and there.
Yeah,
so.
I think there's a little bit of new things, but I also think that we are playing it slightly differently, so maybe that's a product of how we're playing the game this time, the dialogue choices we're making.
Maybe, yeah.
To discover things.
Yeah, because I think we were being a little more thorough in, like, what we checked out and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so it should be good. What was I going to say? Yeah, so check that out. We're going to be on twitch.tv/thenerdlies playing that game, so come follow us. Check all that stuff out. I should have played Mario Maker on Mario Day. Sad.
Wow.
I missed opportunity. But yeah, we'll try to stream more. Because that game is just a lot of fun. We like doing the voices. Mm-hmm. Well, Rachel likes doing the voices. I kind of do one or two.
Well, I kind of, like, forgot that it is called Kentucky Route Zero, so I'm like, I should be doing a lot more Southern accents, because I think they all are Southern accents.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
I did want to mention that, keeping on, like, big things or whatever. No, it's not a good segue. Anyway, big announcement today, actually. Disney just announced that Disney California Adventures Avengers Campus is opening July 18th during the summer. I knew it was this year during the summer. I was surprised, but yeah, it's actually gonna be coming July 18th. It's the week, I believe, before Comic-Con.
Okay.
So that'll be very interesting. It's the Spider-Man ride should be up and running. And with the Ant-Man brewery, the PIM, whatever brewery is going to be open, there's going to be a Doctor Strange magic, like a show sort of thing. Cool. There's like a Doctor Strange like garden area, which I'm interested in just walking around through.
That's cool.
But yeah, everything's looking really, really cool. And they actually announced like all the characters that they're going to actually do like photo ops with. And I got to find that real quick because there's a ton of characters. They already do a ton of characters.
Yeah, they already do. I mean, yeah, they were already doing Black Widow and Captain America and Spider-Man and Black Panther with the Dora Milaje and Spider-Man.
Yeah. So let's see here. Every character you can meet in California Adventure. It's going to be Spider-Man, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and Dora Milaje, and General Okoye. Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to be coming there. Captain Marvel, Thor, and the Guardians. Nice. So that's going to be...
Well, yeah, the Guardians have already been there.
Yeah, they've been there by the Guardians Tower already. Mm-hmm. But yeah, really, really cool. Everything looks good. Some of the food looks really good. Mm-hmm. There was a thing my Bergen was texting me. Is like, there's a thing at the brewery called the Pimini. Which I'm like, that's great. Yeah, there's a Pim test kitchen at the Pim Particles place with the normal size food, bite size food, tiny food, that sort of thing. Giant soda cans are going to be available. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing, though, is there is going to be a shawarma place.
Oh, nice.
At the Avengers campus. And if you don't get the reference, that is from the first Avengers movie.
And I happen to know the magician that created the effect for the microbrewery, so I get to say that.
Nice.
So
big shout out to him.
I'm excited to see like what that actually is. I just heard him describe it, and I was like, "Oh, that's really awesome!" But yeah. I have no idea what it's really going to look like. So.
I'm amped. I'm really, really excited to see Marvel have more of a presence out here. And I'm sad that that's one thing that you can't do in Disney World because of the rights. You know?
Oh, yeah, like, it's weird.
It sucks that Disney World isn't getting this one, but I'm kind of happy that we get a special thing out here. They got Pandora Land or whatever Avatar Land. Mm-hmm. We got this. So Pandora Land? It's just Pandora. Yeah. That's all it was. Oh man, I still remembering that guy who was like, "You haven't seen Pandora? You gotta see Pandora." The movie is called Avatar. Just so everybody knows, and that we're all on the record.
Well, then that just reminds me of that thing from freaking Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah.
Seen Avatar? I wanted to read the book, but there's no book version of Avatar. So freaking funny.
So fantastic.
Then you wanted to talk about, and I like do this all the time, but I keep wanting to call the Black Widow movie the Scarlet Witch movie because it's Scarlett Johansson. I call her that all the time, or I start saying it. I'm like, "What the Scarlet? Oh no, it's Black Widow." Black Widow.
I totally get it. I totally understand why it is confusing that there is a character named Scarlet Witch not played by Scarlett Johansson.
It's a missed opportunity.
Very much so. I appreciate it. I do think that.
It would have been so much easier for her. Just kidding. Even though that's not, like, even though the character's name is Wanda, but, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
Anyway. But yes, the final, quote unquote, final trailer for Black Widow just came out. And you get to see more of Taskmaster, which is cool. And you get a kind of more of a sense of what she's up against with the Widow program and that sort of thing. I am actually, like, this last trailer got me way more excited than any of the other trailers, personally, because it has more of a spy vibe to it, which is something I need right now, especially since I'm not getting a James Bond movie till November.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's like a double-edged sword. I didn't get James Bond, so now I'm going to be more amped for Black Widow, but I'm still sad that I'm not getting James Bond for another 7 months. But I digress. I think it gave you a lot more action and a lot more kind of sense of what she's going after. What did you think of it? Did you watch the trailer?
I did.
Yeah. What did you think? I know that you're not like super interested in her as a character generally.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, I'll say it was a better trailer than the rest of the ones that I've seen, but at the same time, I think it's just like, if it was something that I felt was unique, then I think I'd be more amped for it. But I feel like I've seen this movie like at least 3 times
Somewhere,
already.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just, I think the only difference is that, like, in the past, it's been like one femme fatale with like against like a lot of other people. And then, but now it seems like it's like 3 or 4 ladies against a bigger army or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, it looks like an action movie, and I'm sure it'll be fun. But I'm just like, generally not like, and I guess it's also because like I just don't have any investment in like any of these new characters. I don't know like how they're like, why they're significant or anything like that, because I feel like if I was more of a comic person, like maybe I would be excited because I'm like, oh, it's this person and this person. I have really no idea who any of these people are. So yeah, I'm not like, oh my god, it's this person, like, you know. So because I feel like that's how I am more with like Batman and stuff like that, because I get excited about the different characters that are going to be in it.
Yeah.
I don't have any investment in that, so
it's hard because Black Widow is not an obscure character, obviously, because she is a huge part of the Avengers. But unless you're a huge fan of her, this storyline is going to be brand new to you. And if you don't have it's brand new to me because I don't have a ton of. I didn't follow Black Widow when I even was deep into comics, you know. So it's just kind of a surface level knowledge of who these people are. The thing I am excited about, though, is the introduction of Taskmaster and the things I've been reading about that, and just like the conjecture around who that person is. Because now that, you know, this new trailer showed Taskmaster a lot more, and I kind of forgot that Taskmaster is a person that is able to copy anyone's fighting style, pretty much. And you see the comparisons of how that character fights, and it's really drawing from all of the other Avengers that you've seen, which I think is really, really cool. It's a really cool effect to see like how this character can encompass all kinds of Marvel characters that you've seen already. My big prediction, and I don't know whether anybody else has predicted this. I'm going to assume yes, because I'm not always the smartest person about doing predictions about movies. But because we haven't seen any sort of like, I don't believe we have any sort of casting for Taskmaster. Like, no one has been officially announced as Taskmaster's character. And please correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll look it up.
You'll look it up right now. But I would not be surprised if they reveal Taskmaster to be a woman in this. Because they do say he in the trailer. I think there's a line of dialogue that refers to Taskmaster as he. But just the way that
Does
they're...
that person have a name, per se?
I don't know you'll have to look up on the Marvel Wikipedia. I don't remember exactly the character's name. But I don't think has been I could cut all this out if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't see anyone named Taskmaster on here.
Yeah. Let's look up Taskmaster's real name on Wikipedia real quick. Tony Masters, which is a very comic book name for a person named Taskmaster. But yeah, I don't think they've released anybody is Taskmaster, so I would not be surprised if it's a woman under that mask for this movie. And I'm kind of predicting that just because of how ambiguous they're leaving it, and because it is Black Widow and they're training a bunch of widows or whatever like that are against her. Like I can't imagine. I could imagine that the leader is also a woman. Would be kind of cool, you know, and make it a little different than where Birds of Prey is the typical machismo. To make a point, a righteous point with Ewan McGregor, like it's a just dude villain. Maybe it's going to be a female villain. That would be cool to me. I would love it because I think Taskmaster is a really cool thing to insert in this movie. And kind of interesting that they're not going to put him in or put the character in Spider-Man, obviously since it's so popular in the Spider-Man world. But it's cool to see it here, and all that stuff. So that's my big prediction. We'll see if it is true in May when the movie comes out. I think I might be right. If you agree, please let me know. We'll see. We'll see. On the topic of Batman, though, there were official images of the new Batmobile, which also showed more of the suit. What did you think of those images?
I feel like the car looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I'm still not a huge fan of the way the suit looks. I mainly just don't like the dinky little ears.
Yeah, they do look a little odd. The cowl or the helmet in particular is a little bit odd. Yeah, the ears are set back quite a bit.
Yeah, and they're so small.
They are very small. But I will say I thought the suit in general looked better in those shots.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not it. I don't know. I still don't love it.
Yeah. It's a year one. I mean, obviously they're going after a year one vibe. So I think, it's going to evolve from there. And these are the first things that they're going to show up with. I'm very intrigued by this movie. Although the memes about the car are kind of hilarious because everyone is just calling it a Fast and the Furious car, which is funny, but also kind of true. I might agree a little bit, but I think it's a year one car. What can you do? What are you gonna do? But I'm still excited to see that movie, even though Rachel doesn't like the suit. It's gonna distract her.
It's really not. I'm fine with it. I'll be okay.
Yeah.
As long as the movie's good, I will overlook the cowl being weird.
Are you excited to see a new Catwoman?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how she plays it. Because obviously, to the surprise of everyone, I think, what is her name? From Dark Knight Rises. Oh, gosh. It's going to kill me. Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway did a great job as Catwoman. I thought the design for her was great, and I think the characterization was great, too. So we'll see how Zoe does it. I think it'll be cool. It is Zoe Kravitz, right?
It is, yes.
Right. I slightly almost forgot. We finally finished Star Wars Rebels.
Yes, we did.
We did. It was an emotional fourth season. Very emotional fourth season.
Lord. Yeah.
We spaced out the last 4 episodes because we needed to. I think you needed a mental break because of obviously the big thing that happens, and it's going to be spoilers from here on out for the Rebels season because it's been like a couple years since that series ended. But yeah, you were very affected by the death of Kanan. How did you feel the story wrapped up?
I dug. I feel like not that it had to happen, but it felt like it was necessary for them to go through some sort of loss in order for them to feel like that final push to to finish up the war, basically.
Yeah.
The War of Stars.
The War of the Stars.
But yeah, basically the final battle of Lothal, they really needed to step it up. But yeah, so that was super emotional, and then I wasn't ready for Ezra to also possibly give himself up or sacrifice himself for the cause. And then also was not ready for Ahsoka to possibly be back too. I was just like, this is too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Too much. I can't. So yeah, I was slightly confused because they just in the last few episodes they showed us this Jedi temple and then showed us what I call Jedi heaven, which I don't know how else to describe it, but it's just it's just you're in this weird space thing that you can walk around in and then possibly look at the past.
Well, no, it's like a time vortex is what it is. It's what it amounts to is that there's this time vortex that connects everything. And it needs to be protected because you can do messed up stuff by being in there. Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. And you found some awesome tattoo ideas.
I did. Yeah. The artwork for the Jedi Temple on Lothal is gorgeous and really, really interesting, and it tells like a story of the ancient Jedi and stuff like that. And I was telling Chris, like, I've had like tattoo ideas in the past for Star Wars and Star Wars related things, but in the end, like, haven't really thought of or been able to figure out anything like super unique that I would want. But I feel like that artwork is like really gorgeous and has a lot of cool like detailing to it. So it might be a future tattoo that I get.
That'd be cool. It'd be
Yeah.
cool. It is really beautiful imagery. I really, really dug it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were talking about it before we even watched the last couple episodes, was that this Rebels series was like pretty harsh. Like we were talking about the whole arc with Sabine and the Mandalorians and how harsh that was for her character and her race and her creed and all that stuff. It's just, man, they really ramped it up with the last couple. Like, Kanan sacrifices himself. There's a bunch of people who end up, like, getting either severely hurt or dying near the end. Then, obviously, Ezra, quote-unquote, sacrifices himself. And then Sabine is supposed to be finding him or whatever with Ahsoka. So, it's definitely, you know, it's got all the dramatic stuff that adults want. And I'm not sure that a kid who's watching it at that age, like at that certain age, will really like get everything we got out of it. I guess. I don't know. How do you? I like that shows do that.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
man, I can't imagine watching it with a kid who's super invested and having to explain to them like, yeah, Kanan just sacrificed himself for the entire crew.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't have done it without Kanan doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they probably get it. Like,
Yeah.
because it's like, I remember crying at Bambi. It's like, I got
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Bambi died, you know? Like,
Bambi's
or
mom,
that
yeah.
Bambi's mom died. But, like, yeah, like, I feel like they probably get it. They probably didn't cry as much as I did, but
But it's one of those things you would have to like really take that episode and be like, I've got to help my kid
Yeah.
emotionally process this, which is, you know, it's
Yeah.
the conversation you have to have with your kid
Yeah.
or whatever. But I just, I don't know. I feel like if I was a parent, I'd just be like, we both need a minute.
yeah.
Let's go get ice cream.
Right? Let's do something else. For
I'll
a
talk
little
to you
bit.
about this in an hour. Because I am also affected.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, if you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, and obviously we probably ruined some stuff for you if you haven't. But it's one of those things like the animation shows that people are missing out on. Like I know a lot of people who are Star Wars fans who don't watch the animated shows, and it's like I don't know why you would miss these. These are some of the best. Like you can have a problem with the sequel trilogy and all that stuff. I get it. There's some story issues. And obviously there's some story issues sometimes with these animated shows because they are geared towards kids. Some of the topics or some of the show is going to be geared towards kids. There's some cutesy stuff. But as a whole, the content in these animated shows, both Clone Wars and Rebels, is incredible. It adds so many layers, and it's exactly what Star Wars fans have been clamoring for this whole time. Is like new stories that are a bit outside of the normal storytelling. You know, like they're related. They're people that'll drop in, but it's about these people, not about Luke, not about Leia. It's not about them. It's about this crew and this time period or whatever. So if you haven't watched the animated shows, watch those. It's very, very important.
Do it.
We have watched the first 2 episodes of Clone Wars. Have not gotten to a third. The third one is out already. We haven't watched that yet. But the first 2 episodes, I'm surprised they are very clone centric. I'm very intrigued by that strategy. What did you think of the first 2 episodes?
I can't really form a super strong opinion either way.
Yeah.
They're not great, but they're not terrible.
Yeah.
They're just okay.
They're solid. I think they're
Yeah.
solid things because if you cared about Rex and that crew, I think it's an important story arc. But I wonder about the big picture of this season of what they're going to be talking about because obviously, if you haven't watched episode 2, I'm gonna spoil something for you, with the implications of them taking a stormtrooper and using his knowledge and like basically plugging him in like a battery. Like, I wonder if how they're gonna explore that and what the implication of that is for the rest of the season. Because are there more people like that they're using, or whatever? Like, it seems crazy to me that even like we were saying, this is a very odd thing to throw into like a kids show, and obviously they know their audience is more adult now. We've been waiting for a couple years now for this season, so they're growing up with the audience, but I just don't know where they're going with it yet. I don't have a sense of that yet. And with 2 clone-centric episodes, it isn't really giving me a clear picture as to how they're gonna loop back to leading into to Revenge of the Sith, even, or whatever. Boy's coming. He's like, it's my turn to mess up the podcast. But yeah, I'm very thoroughly intrigued by the show. Like, so far, we only had Anakin for like half an episode. We got some sassiness with him and Obi-Wan, which was kind of fun.
I'm trying to hide his Padme.
Yeah.
Loving. Like, he thinks people don't know.
Yeah. Like, Obi-Wan doesn't know. Obi-Wan just doesn't get you in trouble for it.
We know you're getting that side piece.
I mean, it's his main piece. It's just, it's his side piece from the Force.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
He's not supposed to have any piece.
Oh, yeah. So
she's side piece.
In general, it means that she is.
He's like a priest. He's supposed to be dedicated to the Force, and he's not.
And that is his downfall.
It is.
That is his downfall.
It is.
But yeah, I'm very, very intrigued by how the rest of the season will play out. Because I think Dave Filoni's great. We're a little bit sad to know that the Paley Festival is off. Like we talked about before. For now, we'll wait till they reschedule. Hopefully, it'll be rescheduled for us. But we will not be going to a Mandalorian panel
and it just sucks
in the near
I
future.
literally just got that shift figured out at work.
Oh no!
Because I switched with somebody, and now I'm like, I told her today, I was like, well, I guess I'm probably not going to do that, so never mind.
Oh no!
Great.
Sorry.
It's not your fault.
It
is a
global pandemic.
Global pandemic.
It's a global
It
pandemic.
is a zombie apocalypse of our time.
And I'm really sad that they just obviously. It's sad anybody who's getting the illness. So don't get me wrong when I say this that I'm like putting this person above everybody else. But I am very sad that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson got it because we need to protect them. Tom Hanks is America's uncle. And we need to protect
dad,
him. America's
really.
dad, kind of. And
know.
we need to. Well, yeah, he's like America's dad, and George Clooney is like our cool uncle. We like that visits us every once in a while and just is cool and then leaves.
Maybe let's just have a sip of his drink.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of sad. And obviously, well, they're in Australia right now, so they're quarantined in Australia for a couple weeks. And obviously, they are rich.
Yeah,
and
I'm
affluent, so they're
I'm not
probably
super
going to be
worried
fine.
about him. Yeah, it's like they probably have him in incubators with fucking IVs and shit. So I'm like, I'm really not that worried about him.
And they're in Australia that I think has public health care.
Yeah,
probably a little bit of better healthcare system than us. Oh, sorry, political. So they will probably be okay. I did want to cover. We got to help with our friends over at Temple of Geek. Did a little shoot for some T-shirts and shirt companies. It was for Who's Its and What's Its and the Girl Geek shirts, I believe. And you got to model for them. How was that experience for you?
it was fun. Yeah, it's my first time actually doing something semi-commercial.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was funny that, I don't know if you saw it, but an ad came up, or I think it was an ad, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe I already followed the account, but Amber Arden modeled that same shirt that I modeled.
Oh, for Who's This and What's It?
For Who's This and What's It, yeah. I was like, oh, shit. That's cool. Obviously, she looks way better in it than me. But
Oh, come
whatever.
on. Oh, come on. You look great.
But I digress. Anyway, but yeah, I got to model a couple shirts and a Cruella de Vil scarf.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
You looked very Cruella de Vil-ish. That part of the review hasn't come up yet.
Yeah.
On Temple of Geek Chic.
when they do,
we will repost
Post the
it.
pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun. It was cool.
It's cute. What did you think of the shirts?
They're nice.
Yeah. And you got to, I mean, the one from the Geek Girl company, and I'll double check what the name is so that I don't keep calling it just the Geek Girl company. The one that was for what the hell is that thing called? Wicked.
Yeah.
From Wicked. I guess is one of the more famous songs from Wicked. I don't know anything about Wicked.
A Geek Girl tease.
I was so close. I didn't do the A. But yeah, it's one of the main songs from Wicked. Mm-hmm. Do you know that song?
I do.
Do you like that song?
I do.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's pretty much the most recognizable song from that musical.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It is, yeah.
I don't
like
I-
that
like I said,
and Popular, I think.
Oh
are
yeah,
the
Popular
two-
is the big one.
Are
Yeah,
the two
too.
big ones, but yeah, Defying Gravity is like, besides Let It Go, Idina Menzel, like that's her jam. So, but yeah, she sings that, and that's the one where she's flying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at the end,
I don't know anything about Wicked, so
it's really good.
that
It's a
is
good
something that
musical.
you need to will need to educate myself on
Yeah,
at some
I'll have
point.
to show it to you at some point. It's a very good musical, though.
And then the other shirt was a shirt based on Beauty and the Beast. Is from Who's It's and What's It's that you got to model, and then the Cruella de Vil thing. So we'll see when the other stuff pops up. But thank you to Monica and the team over at Temple of Geek, Monica and Lavender, for letting us come and tag along. I was gonna help shoot like some behind the scenes stuff, but I embarrassingly left all of my SD cards at home. So that is the type of photographer I am.
No, you're an awesome photographer.
I just have multiple camera bags, so sometimes I forget when I
It's
switch
all good.
between
It's all good.
camera bags.
And if you want to go to Oddly Captured, ODDLY Captured, on Instagram, Chris had some awesome photography up. You should
Thank you.
look at it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to do more this year. I have a couple things on the docket in the next couple weeks. It's kind of crazy that, it's still crazy to me when people reach out to me to like specifically book me for photos instead of like me being like, oh, I have an idea. Let's talk to this person, see if they want to do it. But yeah, it's a little weird. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's a lot of fun trying to learn new things. Now I'm starting to learn how to do touch-up stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I know it's going to take a lot longer to process photos. And that's probably the point. You got to like hone your skill a little bit more. I can't just be processing, just throwing fucking pictures out. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You'll get into a groove.
Yeah. And now I bought all these atmosphere cans, and I can start shooting with that stuff. So, but yeah, so I'm excited for that. And we have a couple things planned for the next couple months for Rachel's Patreon, patreon.com/Lady Raygun. Yeah, we just did the Angel set for last month, and I think we're going to do the Dark Angel set for the next month. So that'll probably shoot next weekend, I guess, at some point. Maybe we'll shoot on the day that we can't because I have a golf tournament that day. But maybe we'll shoot the weekend of when we were supposed to go to the Mandalorian or whatever, and figure it out. But yeah, we also got, and we haven't really announced this yet besides the podcast, and I showed a picture of it on my Instagram, but I bought some stickers for Rachel's moniker, and it was some artwork that I had done for Rachel for our anniversary a year and a half ago, from our wonderful friend Jared Yamahata, who made this amazing picture of Rachel basically holding a ray gun, a vintage ray gun looking kind of like Tank Girl. And there's Boba Fett back there too. But I bought these like holographic stickers. So if you sign up for the Patreon, we will also be including the sticker sent to you if you would like them.
Yeah.
So we'll send those out, and we'll make an announcement on the Patreon as well for those that are already subscribed. If you could hear that, that is our cat trying to break the time continuum by speeding on back behind us.
Mm-hmm. They just love chasing each other.
They do. They do. That's why we got 2 cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they can have some fun together.
Mm-hmm. It's mostly the boy terrorizing the girl,
Yeah, pretty
as
much.
they want to do.
Yes.
But sometimes she eggs him on.
Yeah. Sometimes she does it. She does it
Like
first.
earlier, she
once
was
in a
just
while.
sitting on this chair, smacking the crap out of him a bunch of times, just because he was walking by her. She's like, no, 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 no.
She just wants to remind him that she's there and that she knows that he's near her.
Yeah, and that she would like him to F off.
It's very important. Very important. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? I started doing archery.
Yeah,
I guess that's the one thing I have going on.
It's Legolas.
It's been a lot of fun. Luckily, we have our friend Julia, who also does it in the area. So it's been good to have like a person to help me like be motivated to go, because otherwise there's just a lot of stuff to do in this town. So like if you don't have someone who's telling you, hey, I'm going to go to this thing, it's sometimes hard to go do that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Understandable.
So it's been good. I've now gotten 2 buttons for hitting the balloon. There's always a little rally at the end where you get 2 arrows, and whoever hits the balloon first gets a button. And I think basically 2 weeks in a row I've been able to get them. This last one I was more excited about it because I was actually it was a little windy, so I kind of had to track the balloon because it was slowly rotating on the target. So I didn't get a bullseye, but I got where the balloon was, which was to the side of the target.
Perfect.
So it worked out. It worked out. I haven't bought a bow yet. I know nothing about bows. People are trying to teach me. I still don't really know, so I'm going to wait a couple months and just get a little bit more comfortable with with being there to actually do it. But it's been cool. It's cool to kind of see progress. I think my bowling experience, funnily enough, has helped with that, because bowling, if you want to be good at it, and I bowled for 8 years or something like that. If you want to get good at it, it's all about muscle memory and doing kind of the same thing every time and knowing what adjustments to make. And archery is very, very similar. It's just a little bit more strenuous because you do have to work your back a little bit more. Not that hurling a 15-pound ball down a lane is not also physical. It's not physical like basketball, but it's physical. But yeah, when are we going to get you out there?
I don't know.
I do want to. We do need to plan a day to go do the axe throwing thing, because I really want to do that as well.
I actually just had a client yesterday who was telling me that she was super sore from doing it.
Oh yeah,
She's an older lady. She's like, I went axe throwing the other day. She's like, I am very sore from that. She's like, I did not realize that it was going to be that strenuous. I was like, yeah, I can imagine, you're chucking something over your head multiple times. It's going to hurt your arms after
yeah. It's
a
not
while.
really a muscle that you're constantly working out or anything.
Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be fun at some point.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that for sure. But in any case, that's pretty much it we have for this week. Make sure to follow us on Twitch, because we are. I mean, I need to stop tapping this thing on the table, 'cause I'm sure that's sounding somewhere. But follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/thenerdlies. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all the Nerdlies on all that stuff. And rate, review, and subscribe to the show. If tell your friends if you like the show and all that stuff. And that's pretty much all I got. Subscribe to the Patreon. Look me up for my photography. Anything else to plug? I think we got it.
Yeah.
But until next time, go forth and be nerdly.
Bye.
We'll talk to you guys soon.
Who are we? Don't be sure you ever heard you see. It will be in your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdy. Who are we? Don't be sure you ever heard you see. It will be in your eardrum like an infectious beat. We complete. They like when the short and long hear me. Cause we the nerdlies, the nerdlies.